What's up guys, this is Tyler with Candlelit Crime Scene here to bring you another tutorial. This time we'll be working in Photoshop and figuring out how to build a background using YouTube's new layout. The end product will look exactly like what you see on my screen now, and feel free to put in whatever custom designs you want to use on your own. The first thing you'll need to do is go into the description located below this video and download the template that I've already created for you. Alright, now that we have our template open, you'll notice it has 3 separate layers. The first one is just to maintain a constant color going all the way across. The second one has the shadows in the background, and the reason it fades out to white is because a lot of times if your new YouTube channel, you click on maybe the videos link, you'll notice the page goes longer, and I just like it all to fade out to the one same color. And then the final piece of this template is the background. The first thing we're going to need to do is add some text on the side. So in order to do that, go ahead and left click over here where you see the big T for the text. I usually choose Arial Black, and I'm going to use 175 point font for this particular tutorial. Just map out a specific section. I usually like to draw it a little bit larger than what I know I'll be using. And we're going to type in Candlelit Crime Scene. Now you'll notice the letters have gone behind the first 2 layers. What you'll need to do is take where it says layer 1, which is going to change as soon as I click off of it, to Candlelit, the letters that I've typed into the text. You'll need to bring that up to the front. Now that it's above all the other layers, you'll see that it sticks out. I'm going to go up here and make sure my select tool is selected. The next thing we'll need to do is hold down the control button and press T. That'll bring it up so we have the Candlelit text layer selected. Go ahead and move your mouse until you see the swoosh symbol appear. It looks similar to this. Now hold the left click button down and simply rotate counterclockwise. Now that you have the letters going on the side, simply hit enter. Now that we have our letters running up the side of our new YouTube channel, go ahead and hold the left mouse key down and drag it all the way up into where you like. I usually put it around this area right here. So the next thing we'll need to do is create another text layer. In order to do that, again, just push the T text horizontal tool and left click, hold down, and drag across your screen. Now that we have our text area selected, go ahead and type in the second words that you want to use. Now that we've finished creating our second text layer, go back up to the selection tool and left click. Again, we'll hit Control T to target our text layer and hold down the shift button and then rotate, this time clockwise. Go ahead and hit enter. Now again, making sure your selection tool is selected, go ahead and drag your newly created text layer to match up with your other side. Right about there works for me. The next thing I'm going to do is add my last text layer. So simply left click, drag it out, and type in the letters you need. I'm going to go back up here to my select tool and position those letters. The next thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of style to my letters. I'm going to go over here to my second text layer down, which for me says Crime Scene. Yours might say whatever your channel name is, and simply double click. What it's going to do now is pop up my layer style dialog box. Some of the style I'm going to add is bevel and emboss. I'll go ahead and click contour. I'll use a gradient overlay and a pattern overlay. And the final thing I'll add is a drop shadow. For the gradient overlay, go ahead and click on that and then switch the blend mode to overlay. The final thing I want to do is go into my pattern overlay and make sure that my pattern is not too clunky. So I'm going to bring that back just a bit. And by doing that, I just left click on the little scale ruler and drag it to about 40%. Or you can type it in by double clicking and typing in 40. You'll see that the pattern over here has gotten a little bit smaller. The final thing I want to do is add a little bit of color to my gradient. So instead of the simple black to white gradient, I'm going to double click and then you'll have the gradient editor over here. I will be using one of the presets that Photoshop has already created for me, but feel free to go ahead and customize your own designs. I'm going to left click and then click OK. The next thing I'll be creating is a small stroke. Simply go into the stroke by left clicking on it. Crank it up by 5. The easiest way to do that is to click inside the box and use your mouse wheel to scroll up or down. Next I'll be modifying the drop shadow, and I'll do that simply by left clicking on the drop shadow. There are 3 main characteristics of a drop shadow: the distance, spread, and size. I'll just be messing with the spread and size for this tutorial. I will be increasing the spread to about 10% and the size to about 15 pixels. Next I'll simply click OK. Now in order to make Candlelit and Crime Scene look the same on both sides and not have to go through that entire process of layer styles again, I'm simply going to right click on the Crime Scene layer and then click Copy Layer Style. Then go down here to the text layer that says Candlelit, right click, and then click on Paste Layer Style. You'll see it copies exactly what I created on the right side over here to my left candlelit text layer. The final thing I'll be doing in this tutorial is creating a background design. Simply do that by going all the way to the bottom and clicking on the background layer. Then go over here to where I have the paintbrush. Left click and go to the drop down. I have a specific brush set that I downloaded, and I'll provide a link in the description below. Feel free to use your own brushes, but if you do download this one, I'm using the one on the far left. Once I have that selected, I'll simply go out here onto the stage and position it to where I want, then left click. And there we go, it's a little explosion in the background that fades out to white. The final thing we will do is export this entire project as a JPEG so that we can upload it to YouTube. So go up here, just click File, go down here to Save As, and I usually save to desktop. Feel free to choose any folder you want, but I'm going to save mine directly to desktop, and I'll leave it as template, so it's a JPEG, my template.jpg. Go ahead and click Save. Max it out because you'll be able to fit it onto YouTube even on a standard channel. Go ahead and click OK. Alright, now that we have our file saved out as a .jpg, let's go ahead and open up YouTube, and we'll go over to our channel. From here, simply left click on Edit Channel, and then go down here to where it says Background. If you already have one, it will probably say Remove. If not, it will go ahead and say Choose File. Left click on the Choose File button. Find the file that you just saved. Again, mine is template.jpg located on the desktop. Yours is whichever folder you put it in and whatever you titled it. Click on that. It'll upload it and then bring it to your channel. I generally try to make the background color match the background that I put on my template. So feel free to choose other colors if you want, but I usually go with white, and click Done Editing. One thing you'll notice is the font was a bit too large for the background of the particular page I'm using. However, on other pages, a lot of times the background will continue all the way down, so you want to make sure it blends nicely as this one does. Alright, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.